Hey everybody, Ben here. I'm going to do a tutorial today on how to make collaborative screen recording videos. When we do our videos here at Clubhouse, our Let's Play videos, this is how we edit them. I thought I should just make this tutorial so that other people out there can also give it a go as well. Let's get started, shall we? First off, when you want to start recording, or when doing your videos, you'll use a program, screen recording program. We use QuickTime because it's free, but when it comes to editing the videos, you will have a little bit of a problem with an issue called frames per your frame rate. QuickTime saves them at a random one, and when you're doing collaborative videos, you need every video to be at the same frame rate, otherwise you won't be able to synchronize them. So once you've got that all set up, you then need to start setting up your project folder for editing your video files. Now, when you do video editing, you can use many programs. You can use Windows Movie Maker, iMovie, Premiere, Final Cut Pro. There's lots of them out there. So yeah, so when we start editing these videos, if you're following this tutorial but you don't have Premiere, the understanding of this will be similar, but they won't be exactly the same. Okay, with all that technical information out the way, I'll just help you tell you how to set up the files. First off, we need to make a projects folder that we put everything in. Basically, you have to make sure you have all your files inside one folder. We've got this here is the project file. Ben, week 3 wins. This is our Let's Play we recorded a few weeks ago, and I've just got to still prepare it. So, yeah. Now, first off, you're going to have a folder called raw footage. This is where you put all your videos you've recorded into here. See, we've got the 4 videos. We've got mine and the other members of that are doing that recording. You'd also want to make a few other folders here. One for images, one for sound, and one for miscellaneous folders. Also, if you're planning to use After Effects, which is really cool for animations and other special effects that you do in video editing, you might want to make a new folder for that. But After Effects is a bit more tricky when it comes to organization, because sometimes you might need the actual After Effects file over here, because it might need to have access to the raw footage folder or the images folder. That's a little bit more advanced at this stage, and I'm not going to go on about that. Anyway, once you've got your folders all set up, like so, clean up. Alright, good enough. You want to start making your project file, the actual project file itself. So let's go ahead and open up Premiere, finally. And yeah, when it finally opens up, I'll show you how we set up our files. Right, so we're going to go new project because we're starting a new project. First off, we want to tell it where the root location for the project folder is. That is the folder we just created over here. So if we go back to desktop, we got projects. So here, that's the project folder that I created to put everything in, all our files and stuff into. Ben's week 3 wins. And that there is this folder here. Remember the one with the raw footage, miscellaneous, all that stuff like that? That's the root folder for this project. Now we want to call this video the name of it. I'm just going to call it week 3 wins, because it's that, and it's go Ben's edit. Alright, so just got Ben's, I'm just going to that because it's simple enough to remember. Just check the scratch disks. You want to make sure these are all set to the same as project. If not, well, say you need to move this file to another computer, all this information might disappear. So you want to keep them all the same as the project folder. Oh, and always remember to work, when you're working on video footage, work on the computer. Don't work on a network folder or on a flash drive or hard drive. because you're going to have major lag issues if you do that. Alright, so now we can go OK. Yeah, oh, that's it. Go. Oh, hang on. We're doing HDV, so now I can go OK. Now, the next thing we want to do, we're going to, like I said, we record in 25 frames per second. At this stage, we need to find that. Well, typically, I normally go to HDV for the content settings. These are all presets for resolutions and frame rates and all sorts of stuff. That's all technical jargon that you don't need to know too much about. But depending on the size of your footage and your frame rate you want to play at, you need to choose the appropriate one here. I normally go for 720p by 25 frames per second. Anyway, so now we're just going to call the sequence part 1, because it's going to be the first part of the video. And we go click OK. Now what we want to do is we want to load in our footage. So we can go File, Input, and we want to go, and automatically this Premiere project file has been created in that folder for us, along with another file called Adobe Premiere Pro Preview files, which you don't really need to worry about that at all, to be honest. Right, we want to get the raw footage. So we grab the raw footage and we import this. And now we've got the videos. As you can see, they're all different lengths. Like that one's 1 hour, 18 minutes and 18 seconds long. Or this one's 1 hour, 8 minutes and 43 seconds long. When you drag these in, they're not going to be starting at the same point, but they're not going to end at the same point either. They're all going to be different, which means we're going to need to synchronize these videos. So first off, what we need to do is we need to start inputting these videos. Now we'll come up with this mismatching. It will be mismatching because the settings of the video will be different from the file preset I showed beforehand in the other option. We can, if we change sequence, the ratio should automatically fix itself. So I'm going to change sequence settings. Notice now the ratio of the screen is now changed from that HD definition ratio to this, well, I guess you'd call maybe SD ratio, I don't know, but to this square ratio. And that's alright, we can do that for now, we can do that. So what we want to do is we want to synchronize these video footages. So let's just drag each of these video files on. So there's mine, here's that one, that one. Now make sure when you drag these on, is you don't drag them down here on top of another one. Because what's going to happen is that one's going to overlap this one, and therefore you get to that point of the video, and also it's going to switch to someone else's video footage. Now, if you listen to this, it's going to sound like
and now, to start.
So it's going to be sound like a bunch of garble. That's because these videos aren't synchronized, and therefore you're hearing audio from all over from different parts of the video. So to fix that, we need to do what's called synchronizing. And synchronizing is how we align video footages together so they're all one in time with each other. Now to do that, we're going to need to find, well, a point in the video that comes up on everyone's video. Now luckily, in Minecraft, when someone dies, their name comes up on everyone else's screen. So we can use that as a reference point to help us synchronize up the video files. So first off, we can see here, if we go along this video for a while, and we notice at that point here, this is where Awa City died. Not Awa City Clubhouse, Awa City the player. What we can do here is we can zoom in on this video footage now, and we want to zoom in until we get to the frame right where the text appears up. Awa City was slammed by Fat Mandy 123. See? Now what we want to do is we want to put a marker on this video file here. We do so by double clicking it and then clicking in this window here will pop up. Now we can just click on this marker and it will add a marker to the video. Now we've got that marked, we want to mark the next video. Now to move on to the next one, we're going to have to hide the top one so that we can't see a video footage, otherwise the video footage is hiding the one underneath. So just click that little eyeball to hide it. Now we click on the next layer. We're going to scrub through again to find where she died in this video. I think that, yeah, this is the person that killed her. Right there. Really? He hasn't even touched her yet. How did he kill her without even touching her? Okay. Well, anyway, so that's where that happens. So just double click on this again, and we'll add a marker. We just keep doing that for all the other videos. Alright. Anyway, so now we've put a marker on everyone's layer where the text came up, Awa City was slammed by Fat Mandy. Now what we're going to do is we're going to line these markers up with each other by like this. Okay, so we're going to line them up sort of like that. Now all I did is I grabbed the layer, made sure I grabbed the layer, not the edges, and don't grab it like that, just grab it like this. So don't grab it when it's got the red arrow, grab it when it's on the layer like this. You just drag it along and it should snap to where another marker is. And eventually all the markers will line up. Now, each of those videos are closely in sync. Now, if you were using proper studio microphones, then at this stage, you wouldn't need to you wouldn't need to worry too much more about synchronizing them because you'd be close enough at this stage. However, because we're using the internal microphones inside the computers, we're going to hear an echo over the video footage.
There's going to be a synchronized point now.
Especially when you hear my voice in that one. So, to fix that issue, you're going to have to open up the audio files. Now we're going to zoom in. Now, we're going to be pretty close already to the original sound file with markers, but you're not going to be we're not bang on, otherwise we wouldn't have heard the echo in my voice. So what we want to do is we want to look around here and we want to try and see some patterns going on. If you look at the sound files, you see we've got these patterns that are going on here that are quite similar. You've got the bumps there, you've got the bumps there that goes down and then up, you've got this sort of neck here, and you've got another bump here. And we're going to try and align these patterns smack bang on. If you zoom in, you'll notice my one, right here, is a little bit back further than everyone else's. So if I just try and line that up a bit, we'll zoom in a little bit more. Alright, now that you can see here we've got these patterns lined up a bit better, the patterns are a bit more symmetrical. When we listen to the audio now,
there's going to be a synchronized point now.
Notice there's no echo in my voice no more.
What, this?
No, they're dying. It's going to be a synchronization point.
Where is that?
No, it's when we do the video editing.
Stop stealing stuff.
I'm
stealing some stuff right now. I'm actually quite
Hey,
scared.
Yeah. Alright, so now once we've got that done, and the video's footage is all synchronized up, what we want to do is we'll make sure we don't accidentally unsynchronize it. And the most easiest way I've found to do this is by cutting off the front, finding the last video that's going to play, and just cutting off everything at that point. Oh yeah, I should have just told you this before. This tool is going to be the most important tool you use in video editing. It's your razor tool. It's what you use to slice up your video footage. The shortcut key for this is C. And the second most common tool you're going to use is the selection tool, which is V. Now, once you've got that, you can just grab this and delete it. Now, just drag these video footage back to start, and they're all lined up. Alright, so now this next stage you're going to have to bear with me a little bit. You're just going to trust me. When we're going to use a thing called nesting, so that we are able to combine different things together into one layer. However, I found out the hard way that when you nest audio files and when you do another nest again, sometimes Premiere decides to take a paddy and basically waste half an hour of your time doing a render just so you can see this video footage. It won't do this all the time, but it does do it it seems to do it quite a lot to me. So first off, what you want to do is you want to unlink the audio from the video, which is really simple. You just select the video footage. The audio footage will automatically be selected because it's linked together. Then we right click and go unlink. And there you go, the audio and video is now unlinked. Okay, so now that we've done that, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do this. We're going to put on a name on each of the videos. We need to do this so the viewers can see whose camera they're looking through or whose screen they're looking through. And this is quite cool and quite simple. All we need to do is go File, New, Title. This will allow us to create a new item in the project folder, and this is going to be our title. Now, there's many easy ways of making titles. First off, if you know Photoshop, you should know that text boxes. Works very similar to that. Now, this is going to be Awa's one, so it's share. So SHAYLA. I see Roland's been using this computer. Now, what's going to happen is that this is showing us in this part of the video, click on, what the text is going to look like when we input it. It's not actually there yet, but it's what it's just going to look like. Or you can change its size. You can change basically all the settings of the font down here. Change color, change opacity, change the size, change the family, change the rotation, height, whatever. All done down here. I'm not going to go too much about that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to now drag this onto here. And you notice now her name is come up on the screen. That's because this is now another layer on top of everything else. But you'll also notice when I scroll to here, her name disappears. That is because this pink title only goes for a short time period. And we need to make it go for a longer time period. And this is when we get to use the red arrow on the edge. This one here. Now when you hover over the edge of one of the clips, you will see this arrow turn red. That means we can expand this footage so it goes over for a longer period of time. And we want to expand this all the way to the end of the video clip that is going on to it. And it should just snap automatically to the end. We can drag it to the end there. Alright. And now, those two, now when you watch the whole clip, her name appears over the whole video. Now the last thing we need to do with this part, for this section, is we need to nest these two clips together. Now nesting is kind of like merging in Photoshop when you merge layers together. And now Shayla's video footage plus her name is now merged on the same layer, which is this layer here. Now, we're going to need to do that for each of the following layers. So we're going to need to go do another title for Roland's video. So we're just going to turn off Shadow's video for now so you don't see it. And we can go grab Roland's video. Now, remember I still kept this title window open because I'm going to go File, New, Title, and I'm going to type in ROLLAND and drag Roland's into here. And once again, we're going to zoom in for this. We're going to need to drag that pink line all the way out to there and just keep zooming out till we get to the end of Roland's videos. And once again, grab both of these and we'll nest them. Now I'm going to drag this one up here just like I did the first one. The reason for that is because I'm putting this layer here and here so I can put the title for the next video in there. Otherwise you're going to overlap the videos and you're going to get half your video footage cut out. So just do this. And once you're done, I'm going to drag those back down. Okay, so now that I've finished nesting these titles of each of the layers, of each of the footage, we've now got 4 green nested video files with their titles on there. Now, because we're doing this as a Collabative video, we want to be able to switch between one person's video to another quite freely. Now, we could do this by copying and pasting each layer on top of each other, but that's quite laborious and tedious job. And we can't watch everyone's video footage at the same time, so we don't know if we're actually putting them in the place where we're actually saying that's good, if that makes any sense. Well, anyway, so Premiere has, I don't know how you do this in other programs, but Premiere has a real convenient feature that allows us to edit multiple videos at the same time, multiple video footages. Now to use this feature, we first off have to grab the footage we want to use to switch between, and we have to nest them together, just like we did before. So now they're all in one layer. And once again, Shadow's one's back on top. We don't need to worry about those layers now. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we want to turn this into a multi-rig. So what we can do, well not multi-rig, multi-camera. What we can do is go to multi-camera and then click enable. Now that enables this layer to say, okay, this layer has got multiple cameras in it, so now we can treat each of those combined nested objects inside it as a separate video footage. And when we go, now when we click on this and we go, where is it? We go to a window, we go multi-camera monitor, you'll notice all of a sudden we've got everyone's video footage here. See? Alright, now that we've got these multiple windows up, we can actually switch between different footages, each of our different videos at the same time, which is pretty nifty, considering that we have, if we didn't have this, we would have to go through every individual video individually and edit it. But no, with this we can edit all 4 of them at the same time, which saves us about 4 times the length of work. Anyway, so the next step is to start to play, and this is where the actual editing happens. Now, if you don't want to do your whole video footage, if you want to cut your video footage into 2 parts, so you can do one part now and give your friend the other part to do, that's fine. All you need to do is scroll over to the part you want to cut, where you want to cut in half. So say if it was, this is how long is this video? 1 hour, 17 minutes. So half of that will be, okay, let's just say about somewhere about a minute, about 40 minutes long, somewhere in there. Now you're going to want to play this for a bit, because you don't want to cut in the middle of something important.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
I found
At
cows.
least I didn't go when you guys all found out.
Alright, so we want to kind of cut it here, for example, but we want to make sure that we've got this sort of overlay between the two video parts. So what you want to do is you want to find a silent part of the video, which unfortunately, because everyone keeps talking too much, it's kind of hard to find. But let's say we want to cut here. So I can cut here, because it's a silent part. And I am going to cut.
Yeah. Why do you have that on? Your player was.
And I'm going to flip a little bit, and I'm going to cut.
I'm gonna run over that chicken. Yeah.
I'm really going to cut here. Now I'm going to have to make sure I cut through all the layers, all the audio layers as well as the video layer, because these are not going to work together. So I'm going to cut through all the layers. Right. Now then, what I want to do is I want to carry these parts, these partitions here. I'm going to select them on, and I'm going to hit Command C. That's going to allow me to go File. It's going to copy it to the clipboard. And now I'm going to go File, New, Sequence. And I'm going to call this sequence, same thing as it was before, but I'm going to call this Part 2. And go OK. And so hit Command V. So now you've got the sort of the interlaced bit of the video footage here. This part is going to be in both part 1 and part 2. We're here in we go back to part 1 now, and we can just delete this part here off it, because this is going to be the end of part 1. And this bit here in the middle is where part 2 is going to start, if that makes sense. Anyway, we want to get rid of this cut now, so to get rid of that cut, all we're going to do is make sure that these are lined up to the start, to the very start of the time, and delete them. Then we're going to grab these again, and we're just going to drag them back to the start. That does, it gets rid of that cut, which is really useful. And what I can do is we'll do the same thing here. We get rid of these parts, delete. Now make sure we leave this red line at the end there before we delete it, because we're going to need to drag this back to that red line. If you move that red line, then this isn't going to end at the right place. Hold on. Okay, so now then, once you've done that, you can go back to your part 1, and this is how you start editing your video. Basically, from here on out, it's up to you how you want to edit. You have to start discovering your own sort of tricks and skills and stuff, depending on what you're wanting to edit and how you want to edit. You have to start finding those out for yourselves from this point onwards. But this is what you want to do next. You want to start cutting up your video footage so that you want to get rid of the stuff you don't want, but you want to keep the stuff you do want. And also you're going to want to start flicking through these videos as well, so you can get different cameras. So to do that, what you're going to do is you're going to just basically watch your video footage. You can jump and skip to parts. If you know there's a part you don't want here, you can cut it out straight away. But what you want to do is you want to just watch your video footage.
Your house is the one to lift it.
Oh, what? And everyone get
Where's my house?
Now, I'm going to skip one to that right now. So now, because we know at this point shader dies, we might want to switch to your camera at this stage. So say at this stage here on Roland's camera, which we actually here we are already on. Now here we want to switch to Shader's camera because she just got killed. What you need to do first is you need to use the razor tool and insert a little slit on the video layer, and to be on the safe side, slit it down every layer, just to be on the safe side for now. Now make sure before you select it that you are in the right place where you want to change the cameras over. Then, what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and you're going to go select this layer. And you're going to go ahead and click Shader. And now, if we scroll through here, you notice it's going to go from Warren's camera to Shader's camera. And that's how you interlace through different video cameras. Now, you also want to cut down your video footage because if it's going too long, well, people are going to get bored and drift off. Notice mistake here, when I cut, the window will cut straight. There's no problem to fix that. You just need to cut the lines all straight. It's actually a really good thing. You should actually really zoom in before you start cutting. If you zoom out and start cutting, you might get this issue. So we want to get this all straight. So to fix this, we've made those lines to make sure it's straight. Now I'm going to delete the ones, oops, wrong button. Zoom again. I'm going to delete the ones that I don't want, part that I want. And all I'm going to do now is just nicely drag that back using the red line. Drag that back in. Now, the last thing you have to know, last thing you don't need to know about editing this video is how to cut the video footage down, as I was just saying beforehand. And to do that, it's really quite simple. Say you want to cut out a place, like say I wanted to cut out from here, so basically from here to here. No problem. What you would do is you just put these the way the tool to cut down here, for where the part, that's the end of the part you don't want. Go back to the start of the part you don't want and cut down here as well. Then you select all the parts you don't want, hit delete, grab the rest of the footage and drag it back to cover up the part of the video that you just deleted. Now, even though we did this, do still be warned that if you actually change this, it's going to change here, not back here. So if I accidentally now, say I want to change that, say it went to Jack's camera, and it wasn't asking me to do that, and you completely forgot about that, what's going to happen is you're going to play that, it's going to switch to Shayla's, and it's going to switch to Jack's. And say I didn't want to switch to Jack's then. So you've got to be mindful that you don't accidentally switch cameras without realizing it. But anyway, and that's basically what you need to know for the editing stage. Just how to switch to the cameras and how to cut parts. Now, when you do editing, you are going to be watching the video footage, and you might end up being clicking want to play here, not over here, because here will allow you to watch all the video footage in one go. So you can watch, make it big, and you know you can watch all the video footage.
Let's go.
And if you see something interesting happen on someone else's screen and you want to cut to that part, you can, because we're watching all 4 screens, like you're some sort of security mall monitor or something like that. You're watching all 4 screens, and if something interesting is happening on one of the other screens, we can jump to it. So say, for example, something interesting is happening on Roland's screen, which I don't know if he's going into my house in that part stage. We'll be able to play for a little bit. We can also click record on and off. Now what that allows us to do is it allows us to quickly, we won't have to use the radio tool, or it will automatically do the sort of the change over on the video clip itself. You won't have to cut it yourself, but it's not as accurate because you can't pause it.
It's going to be our synchronized point now.
So see if I jump to Roland
No,
from
they're
here,
lying. It's going to be our synchronization point.
if it stop, you're going to notice that, or should notice, if you go back over here, and go to the zoom tool. Zoom in. See here? It's automatically cut it for me. Which is sweet, but at the same time, it's not quite accurate. So it's faster, but it's not accurate. If you want exactly right frame. And actually at this point, I kind of want to do a shader screen because this is where she's stuck in the water.
Where is that?
No, it's when we do the video editing.
Okay. Alright. Now for the last part. Okay, now for the last part of video thing. Once you've chopped up your video and you've made it the way you want it to be, and you've got all the footage showing the right cameras at the right time, you're going to want to do what's called rendering. Now rendering is where you export your video footage into a format that can be read on anyone's computer and stuff. Because right now, your video can only be viewed in Premiere. All your work you've done, all the work you've spent hours doing editing and stuff, can only be viewed in Premiere. And anyway, so what you want to get people to watch your video, you're going to have to render it. Now when we render a file, you go File, Export Media in Premiere. When you do this in Premiere. And we're going to want to set this up, we're going to want to change a few of these settings. This is a whole lot of information that some of you probably have no clue what it's talking about. But we're going to have to stick with this anyway. Now when we do recordings and videos and stuff, the most common codec that people use is a codec called H.264. It creates quite a good quality video at a low file size. And now you're also going to get a whole lot of presets as well. Now when we do our videos, you want to try and get one that fits your screen. So HD 720 by 25 might be a good one to do. Might not be, depending on the number of size of your footage. But you want to have something sort of around what your footage is going to be. Now the next thing is you want to do the output name. This is where the file gets saved. And we obviously want to save it in the project folder. And because we're going to be rendering out part 1, you read out both parts separately. So say we want to read out part 1, we'll just have to call this part 1 and we'll put it in projects in the project folder. So hit save. Next what we want to do is we want to make sure export video and export audio is ticked. If you don't have both of them ticked, you might end up having no video or you might end up having no audio. Now, make sure your frame rate is set to the right frame rate for your video. As you know, we set it as 3 at 25. And down here, this is the compression settings. This is basically what says how good or how bad your video quality is going to be. Now, the higher the number is, the better the quality is going to be. The lower the number is, the worse the quality is going to be. However, also the lower the number is, the faster it's going to render, and the lower the file size is going to be. And if you're uploading to YouTube, you're going to keep your file size low, otherwise it's going to take forever for you to upload your video, and it's going to take forever for anyone else to watch your video. A good one I normally go at is about 8. Now the target bit rate, not 28, your target bit rate is what your video is trying to aim at, so what each second, how large file is supposed to be in that second. But your maximum is how large you're going to let it go up to. So I might let it go up to 10. Now you'll see down here estimated file size. That's 2 gigs big, which is actually quite a large video to upload. So you might actually have to compress that down a little bit. See? Now it's 1.5 gigs. But I won't recommend going any lower than 2, because if it is any lower than 2, it does get pretty bad. But 2 is under a gig, so that's good. Then what you just do is you just click export. And then it will start encoding your video and exporting it. And anyway, and so yeah, that was the tutorial video. Thank you for watching.